Thank you, Chair. Our concern, first of all, to say thank you to the three guests and all of our guests and welcome them and thank them for their presentations. All of our, as public representatives and as a committee, our fundamental concern is that we have the speediest possible movement through the ports and the most unobtrusive movement, basically minimal delay. And having said that, we of course recognise the importance of food checks and we recognise the role of revenue here. But we do need the efficiency, basically. And I suppose in that context, it's encouraging that there is a prospect of a veterinary agreement. I presume there's not much more that we can say or do about that here today, but it is encouraging and let's hope it actualises. In that context of what I said, that our ambition is for speed and efficiency, my understanding is that at the time pre-Brexit, we appointed 1,000 extra personnel in the customs sector. You can correct me, give or take. And so I'd be asking you, have we an adequate staff complement? Are you happy, that you can perform effectively on the current cohort of staff and staffing numbers? I think it's important for our report that your position on that be clear in a sensible fashion, needless to say, but we don't expect anything different. But so I do think the staffing question is important for our report. On the context of what my colleague Deputy McDowell raised, we had a presentation at the committee, and the chair might help me out if I'm just hazy on which grouping precisely it was. I think it would have been small business, but that the actual collection of taxes was presenting a difficulty for people moving through the revenue, or rather through the ports, in that if they were trying to move off hours, weekends, and to access to monies was a difficulty, if I understood the presentation correctly some few weeks ago. You might comment on that, although if you're saying that if they opt for a postponed payment and it's just twice monthly, as you said in reply to Senator McDowell, but that would seem to negate what was said to us. And maybe you, Chair, before you take the response, might be fit to confirm that I'm correct in that we had such a proposition put to us a few weeks ago, that there was a difficulty here and that importers and exporters importers particularly were experiencing difficulty with the revenue dimension in terms of off hours and weekends, etc., in having access to monies and to presenting monies in advance. But it would seem to be negated by what you've said today. And of course, we'd be happy that that would be so. Thank you, Chair.